We got Dice in the building, man.
What it do?
A fucking a legend, for lack of a better term. I feel like he gonna do a lot of big shit, man. And I'm honored to get this interview, bro, because you hit me up and I was like, damn, it's crazy because I was gonna hit you up because I already had questions.
hmm
You like
That's
hit me
funny.
up like right on time, damn near. Because I planned on hitting you up a couple days after you had already hit me up.
Oh, okay, so you had questions like a couple of weeks before I even said anything.
Bro, the first video with Babyface E, I started working on my questions back then. I was like,
Okay,
I
that's
gotta
what's up.
interview him, bro, because he different from the 810. Like he a different
I
breed,
appreciate that, bro.
man.
That's
So
love, man.
we all know how you got the name. It's a part of your last name. But what
hmm
made you go with that? Like, what made you not go with like a childhood nickname or something else?
So that's the thing. It kind of was a childhood nickname for me. Everyone used to just like to say my last name because it's Italian and it's kind of like a unique last name. And so when I was playing sports and shit as a kid, all my coaches would just call me Dicey or like Dice or anything along those lines. So it's
Yeah,
kind of like a nickname, just D Dicey. That was kind of like what I made my Instagram account in like third grade. So yeah, I kind of just stuck with that. And people call me Dice still, but yeah, it stuck.
yeah, I think it's cold, and it's like a lot of stuff you can do with it. Like you can market it like gambling. You can market it
Yep,
like a casino type of thing, and like you can like market it so perfect. Uh,
absolutely.
you feel like you're gonna have any trouble when it comes to marketing or like copyrights and trademarks and stuff? Because Dice is a common thing.
Yeah, as far as copyrights and trademarks, I think that'll be like something that just takes like strategy and just not like overlooking something and not like being stupid about clearing something. But as far as marketing and all that, I think I'm gonna be golden. I mean, that's honestly like obviously music and the idea of like hip hop is like what my passion is. But
Yeah,
marketing and just being creative is like what drives me. I would say like being creative is damn near what music is. So it's kind of like I'm not really worried about Dice interfering with my marketing. I think it's gonna help. I think I can do a lot of things.
I feel the same way. And speaking of music, I saw that you was like in the Kanye.
hmm
I feel the same way you feel about the Yeezus album, man. Like I feel like people didn't fuck with it, but it was fire to me, bro. Like
So that's I love that album. Like that, I swear. Did I say that in the other interview? That like that album like changed everything for me, man. Like I swear, I remember when it came out too. I was in middle school. It was like the most like newest shit, like ear candy shit I've ever heard. And yeah, that was like a huge thing for me.
it's not my favorite Kanye album, but
Mhm.
it's like it's a great album. My favorite was 808s and Heartbreaks. I feel like that changed the game for me.
No, that's valid. That's a valid take. My sister's a really big fan of that one too. It's just there's something about the Yeezus album for me that like is nostalgic, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean, man. So how does it feel to like get so much attention so soon? Cause like you kind of stick out in the music scene. And it's not just cause like your race, but like you stick out cause like your sound. Like you don't sound like anybody from here.
Yeah, and that's what I like am kind of blessed for, to be honest. Whenever this kind of question is asked to me, I always like show gratefulness for being from Grand Blanc because I like being from a city that's so close to Flint and so like kind of close knit with Flint. Like a ton of Flint people, went to my high school. There was kids from like Beecher and stuff that went to my high school. There was kids from just all surrounding cities that come to Grand Blanc. Grand Blanc's kind of like the hub of like people that want to go to a public school. So I always say that I'm grateful for growing up in Grand Blanc and just that kind of culture because I was surrounded by like all different aspects. I was surrounded by like like the more privileged like side of Grand Blanc, and I was surrounded by like just more like people that I could relate to in other circumstances and just like in gym class and all kinds of shit. So yeah, I feel like that's the reason that my sound is the way it is.
Yeah, because when I first heard you, I'm like, you already sound like a polished artist. Like you don't sound new.
Thank you, man. And that's I appreciate you saying that too, because I've actually been doing this for like I mean, obviously I'm still really early in the game, but I think it's coming up on about 3.5, 4 years now that I've been like taking it seriously. So like that means a lot to me.
So what made you take it serious? Because when I noticed you said 3 or 4 years, that's around the time the Flint scene popped off. So was it like
Yep.
the scene?
I think that definitely like contributed, just seeing like Michigan and just Flint and Rio and all that like popping off, and that was just like a huge thing. Obviously, people that fuck with listening to that music too, and so it was really just like all surrounded by me and accompanied by the fact that it was COVID and it was like 2020 and it was like so much free time. So
Yeah.
that's when I got my first like like I got a MacBook and I got like my first mic and audio interface and all that, and I started recording from home, and that's kind of like what got me into it around that time. I would say that definitely like the Flint scene definitely like contributed.
Yeah, I feel like it helped everybody. The year of COVID is when I got monetized. So I feel like
Yep,
it did some good to a lot of people.
for sure, for sure.
So do you consider yourself a rapper? Because I listened to your whole entire catalog on Apple, and
That's love.
like rap is like a very small part that I thought of when I heard it.
For sure. I mean, when I say I love rap, I say I love hip hop, but really I just like I said earlier, I love creating. I love like feeling the energy that I get while I'm like basically. I mean, if you think about it, music in a sense is manifesting, right? It's something that wasn't there before. It was in your head. You had lyrics, you had a melody, and you put it into something physical. That right there is basically manifesting, and that's kind of like the whole idea that I like take with music and approaching genres. It's just like I'm not really worried about like labeling it anything. I'm just worried about like the emotion and like the energy that it gives me and the listener.
It's crazy that you said that because I saw an interview with Post Malone, or it probably wasn't an interview. It might have been a post on social media. He said he don't define himself to just hip hop, and I
Right.
feel like
Yeah.
that about you because like one of your songs, the beat reminded me of. Hold on, I wrote it down. One of the songs you did,
Hmm.
the beat. Hold on, it's in my notes. It sounded
Was
like
it
like a Bruno Mars type beat. It was Forget Her. That sounded like the Lazy song,
mm.
the beat.
Forgot, yeah, that's funny. Forgot her name, yeah.
And when I heard the song, I heard it before I watched your interview with Fam Over TV, and then I saw that you was influenced by Bruno Mars. So
Oh fuck yeah.
yeah, I like Bruno Mars music too a lot.
Oh yeah, Bruno was just I wouldn't say as big as Kanye, but I mean damn near. He was like
Yeah, he's huge.
he kind of got me into the singing aspect of music.
Yeah, I that was another question I had. Did you grow up singing, or was it just like something you did now?
Yeah, and I grew up singing. I grew up just kind of like a spontaneous kid. I'm not sure if you heard me say it in the other interview. I used to like act and stuff when I was younger. I actually auditioned for Disney Channel and that type of shit. So like singing was like what's how people will like kind of like crack their knuckles and like I don't know like bite their nails. Singing was that for me. It was like if I was gonna like my ADHD just resorted to singing or whistling when I was younger. So like I feel like that's also what contributed to like the deepness love that I have for music.
You ever thought about whistling on the track? Because like it's people who've done it before, but it's very rare.
So I have whistled on a track before, but are you saying like some like hook, like some
Yeah,
42 Doug like whistle, like that type
yeah.
of shit?
Or like some yin yang twin whistling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I mean I'm open to it. I think whistling in songs is like underrated.
me,
There's a few songs that like have a whistle in it that literally make this like damn near make the song. So
yeah.
yeah, I definitely wanna start whistling. But I did whistle in Forgot Her Name actually. It's kind of not really noticeable. It almost sounds like it's just part of the beat. But I think I wanted to like it was like right after this bridge that I did, and I wanted to add like a build up into the next verse. So I just like it did something like just like some shit like that.
And I might have heard it and thought it was a
Mhm.
part of the beat.
Exactly, yeah, because that's what like no one realized it was actually me that put it in there.
Yeah, that's creative. That's how Roddy Rich did the box with the like
Yeah.
him and people didn't know. And
Hmm.
had I not heard him say that, I would have thought it was the beat too.
Right, exactly. Me too.
Yeah,
That song takes me back to 2020 also.
yeah.
Damn.
That song was amazing.
yeah, that was a time frame for sure.
And forgot her name, the song. Who were you talking about? Was it anybody in particular?
Forgot her name, dude. It's in the lyrics. It's pretty self-explanatory. Nah, I'm just playing. But yeah, that song's a very true story. It was written about a time. I think it was like that night was like a Halloween night. Yeah, yeah. It was like a Halloween night or Halloween weekend because there's a bar having that song, and I said, "You're coming with me. Let's be honest. She's a sexy Pocahontas." And like there was a girl that was dressed up as like Pocahontas, and like how girls kind of get on Halloween. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's a true story, man. It's that was actually one of the first songs that I like would say I was like really trying to storytell of like something that I experienced. I would say that was like the first like kind of like real song I did that.
yeah. I noticed the whole like storytelling aspect of your music. When I was listening to it, I'm like, damn, every song sounds like a music video. Like,
Yeah, I appreciate that. I
yeah.
appreciate that.
And does that have song have a video?
No, forgot her name. Doesn't, unfortunately. I want to get one for it.
Yeah, I feel like you like remembering the Pocahontas and all that can like easily reenact that whole night.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I don't know why I haven't thought about that. I feel like I probably did at the time of that song coming out, but it might not have just worked out. But
That
yeah, I
would
want to get one.
that would be fire. You a lot of your videos are set. I mean, a lot of your music stories are set like in the club. Is that like real life? Cause you really young, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just like you're talking about like too much fun and like stuff like the True Motion video. You're talking about like those type of club like scenes.
Yeah, and like you would say like you was in the club in the song.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like if they from real experiences, are they really like real life club moments, or do you just make the song set in the club?
Well, two answers to that question. First being, I go to MSU a lot. I got a lot of friends that go to Michigan State and just like live in the East Lansing area. And like the bar life down there, not necessarily like clubs, they're not really like clubs, but
All right, I forgot where we left off.
I was talking about going to MSU. Oh yeah, music videos.
Yeah, you were talking about the club life and how it inspired the song.
Yeah. So I think where I left off, so like I said, MSU, the East Lansing area, it's just like the bars are a really big scene down there. Everybody that goes to MSU is like pretty familiar with the bars and all that. So that's where a majority of my experiences come from. Those aren't, like I said, those aren't really considered clubs. More like when I say club, it's just kind of like for the effect, or maybe there is a story where I'm, like at a club in like Florida or Atlanta. But most of the time it's from MSU. That's like where a lot of shit goes down.
Okay, I've heard about MSU too. I never been down there before.
Oh, you got to get out there.
Yeah, I plan on it one day. Especially if this YouTube shit blow up and they book me, I'm definitely gonna go.
Hmm.
Speaking of Atlanta, you had a song talking about you need a Georgia peach. How you feel about the women in Georgia and Atlanta?
Mm. Well, so Big Drees, he's actually from Flint. He's my producer, one of my main mans. He lives in Atlanta right now. So every time I'm down there, there's some females on the table. I'll say that. Atlanta's a great spot just in general. There's a lot of good people in Atlanta. I think I want to move down there eventually. And yeah, Atlanta seems great. I want to get out there. And Vicky Palacio, she's from Atlanta, so I think so. Or she's from Georgia, I think.
Yeah, I was going. That was my next question. Who is that?
So Vicky Palacio, where do I start? Vicky Palacio is uh in her 20s. She's from Florida. She's an Instagram model, entrepreneur. Shout out my girl. The way I got hip to her was actually this YouTube channel called Nelk Boys. They're like a prank channel and they're kind of like a funny channel, stuff like that. And they have like model. They have like a modeling group that caters to them kind of. And she was one of them. So that's how I got introduced to her. And I kind of just followed her on Instagram, like star on my feed every once in a while. And the kid Leroy, dropped a song in, I think it was also around 2020, called Addison Rae, who was also like a pretty prominent model, TikTok influencer. And I'm a really big fan of Leroy. I've been a fan of Leroy like way before anyone else knew him. And so that kind of like inspired me to want to like take my own approach. And at that time, I was actually living with Big Drees. We were living in an apartment together, and we kind of just like brainstormed a little bit. I got the hook. I had like the first three lines, like I'm winning in every scenario. I know I'm the one they've been waiting for. I need a baddie like Madison. I need a Vicky Palacio. That was like the first thing I thought of. And then from there, I kind of just like punched in and like went from there.
It's this YouTube channel I watch called The Minorities, and I found out about the Note Boys from
Mm-hmm.
them, but I had no idea about the Vicky girl.
Yeah,
So
she's not like a main character or anything in like their channel, but she's like still an influencer. She's still got like a pretty big following. I think she's got like 800K.
it's crazy how everything goes full circle because I compared you to Kid Leroy.
Yeah. No, yeah. When you said that, it was like it actually kind of like had a special place in my heart because like I said, I've been a fan of Leroy like way before anyone even knew who this dude was.
Yeah, I heard about him really early too. Lil Baby, who signed him.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
how I found out about him because I'm a fan of Baby and Herb, so I found out about
Mm-hmm.
him through them. Just like the same thing with Juice World.
Right. It was kind of similar. That's how I got put on Leroy too. It was like I'm a really big Juice World fan, and like obviously like Baby's related, well not related, but works with Juice World. So yeah, that's kind of I think that's how I got put on Leroy as well.
That's somebody you can see yourself working with.
100%. I actually I've like met him. I rapped to him in Detroit. Obviously, we didn't have like a real whole conversation, but yeah, I'm gonna meet him again, and it's gonna be lit. I can't wait.
You got it on camera.
Yeah, it's on my Instagram and like TikTok and stuff. I think it got like almost 300,000 views on TikTok and like I don't know how many on Instagram, but it went like somewhat viral on social media.
I'm gonna check it out. I had no idea. I'm asleep.
Yeah, no, if you go to my Instagram page, it's actually my first pinned post. Like
Okay,
on the it'll be like yeah, on the left because it's like the first one.
I'm gonna check it out. Now, you did a skit with Cheese Sticks. How was that? Cause that shit was
Yeah, that's my dog. That's my dog. So actually the way I'm kind of like I know Cheese is one of my like childhood best friends is cousins with Cheese.
yeah.
And so that was kind of how we like got introduced to each other. And then he came to the True Motion video with like Drees and everybody was there. So that was fun. We actually shot a skit at the golf course too. But yeah, I love Cheese, man. Cheese is great. He's about to have that movie this year. I'm excited for that.
I am too. Now you brought up the True Motion video, which is crazy because I never seen a golf course in real life. So I don't know where you got that at.
Yeah,
I have no
that's funny.
idea.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
I swear to God, bro. I never seen a golf course in real life. I'm like, damn, where did he find a golf course? That gotta be out of state.
It was in Michigan. It was actually in Grand Blanc. I don't think actually. You know what? There is a golf course in Flint. Well, Flint. It's like right on like the border of like Flint and like Swartz Creek or something. It's called. I think it's literally called like Swartz Creek Golf or something. But yeah, yeah. If you want, I think that might be the closest one to like actual Flint. I mean, the one that we went to is like right in Grand Blanc, so it's probably 10, 15 minutes from like Flint. But yeah, that was actually Drees' idea. Shout out Big Drees. He wanted to do like a whole scene at the golf course and stuff. So yeah, I'm glad about that.
I love that video because it's not you just in the house rapping.
Yeah, exactly. That's like that was kind of like a main thing that we wanted to make sure we didn't just have a basic like video of it, like sitting in the car or something like shit like that.
Yeah, I love that video because it just shows it's a different vibe, and it's something like I would have never expected Babyface E to be in a video playing golf. So it just
Yeah,
shows
he said he never golfed either. I had to show him how to hit the driver a couple times.
what's so crazy is I like watching golf because it's like calming, it's like relaxing to watch. But I never played
Mhm.
golf in my life.
Golf's cool. I'm not that great, but it's fun. I enjoy it.
Now, Cheese Sticks called you Eminem in the skit. Like, how does that make you feel? 'Cause Eminem's a great
Honestly, that's not the first time. Hey, let me just say this: when you're a person of my color and my hair color and do what I do for a living, well, for my career, it's like the most common. It's either Justin. If it's like this, if I sing, I get called Justin Bieber. If I rap, I get called Eminem, and that's just what it is. And it's like, am I complaining about that? No, I'll take both. I'm flattered by both, but it's like it's very common. Let me just say that.
That's crazy because I never thought Justin Bieber, like at all, not even for a second. Like,
Well, you're first, and I honestly I respect you for that, because like that is like damn near one of the first things people say when they see like the blonde hair and shit.
yeah, I instantly thought Kid Leroy, if anything. Like that was the first thing that came to my mind. But you said you were a huge fan of Kanye. Is that somebody you would consider signing to, or would you sign to anybody?
I would sign to somebody if it made sense. I think I'm at the point in my career where I don't really need to sign to somebody right now. But like I said, if the opportunity came, of course I would look over it educationally. But Kanye, if shit, of course I'd sign to Kanye. I mean, I can sit here and act like I would have to think about it, but I would sign to Kanye in 2 seconds. That is the greatest artist of all time.
Yeah, I wouldn't even argue with that, honestly. Like I, I damn near can, I damn near feel the same.
Yeah, no, I mean that's hands down, and that's like one of the like most things that like I don't give a fuck what anyone else says. I will stand on that. Kanye is the greatest artist of all time, and this is another hot take. 19-year-old Juice World will go bar for bar with any fucking buddy ever. He's that 19-year-old Juice World is one of the greatest rappers of all time, if not the greatest.
I saw a video. I think Juice WRLD rapped for like 45 minutes, and it was like,
Hours.
bro, it was so crazy because I'm like, and he doesn't mess up. That's the part that blows my mind. Like he don't mess up when he freestyle.
Because his mess ups are hard as fuck. When he messes up, he just like catches that shit and it sounds good.
Yeah, it's like Flint rappers when they mess up. Like they catch
Yeah.
it, it's just like, damn.
Yeah, damn near. Damn near. It's like it's a similar like approach.
Yeah. Speaking of the Flint sound, would you ever rap on or do a song on a Flint beat? Or do you have
Well,
anything like that in the tuck?
I mean so like the Babyface E song, what would you say that type of beat is? I would say that's like more of a Flint style beat. I mean, obviously it's kind of like kind of like niche. It's got like that drum pattern that's like kind of niche. But I would say that's a Flint type beat. I would say that the song that I just did has Flint drums in it. I think that's like the only two. There's also a song that I did with Drees called "Trust My Love," which has like kind of like Flint drum patterns in it as well. But as far as like a like a strict Flint beat, of course. I mean, me as an artist, I would say that I believe in myself enough that I can like hop on any beat and do it in my own way. Like would I rap in like the Flint flow, like the Rio flow? Probably not, because that's just not what comes to me creatively. But would I hop on a Flint beat and like kill that shit? Of course I would. Like, I mean, I got plans to do that shit. I honestly, what I want to do and what I see for everything is to take the Flint sound and take the Flint beat and genre and almost expand it with my sound, because my sound is more than just Flint and more than Michigan. I feel like I can take Michigan and just step another staircase that we've been going up.
I feel the same way. Like when I heard you, like you got a sound that if I heard you without knowing you, I wouldn't know where you was from. So
Mm-hmm.
I already feel like you got an advantage over a lot of people who do sound like they from where we from versus
Yeah.
you. It's almost like it's like Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD doesn't sound like he's from Chicago. Like he don't sound like Chief Keef,
Right.
He don't sound like Lil Durk. He got his own thing and it worked, and he went further than most drill rappers. And he don't even do drill.
For sure, 100%. And that's honestly why he's such a big inspiration to me, because him and like a few other artists were able to show me that like you can like do anything. Basically, it's all about like believing in yourself and just faith.
Absolutely. Now living with Big Drees, what was that like? Because
Yeah.
I've been hearing that name for a minute, but I've never seen him before.
Shout out my dog. One of the best producers, if not the best producer out of Flint right now, I'd say. Um, I've been connected with Dries for like the past like 5 years, 5, 6 years. Um, basically he didn't graduate from Grand Blanc, but he attended Grand Blanc, which allowed me to like kind of like be friends with people that he was friends with, and his younger brother I was cool with. So that's kind of like how we knew each other. And then when he started making beats, um, he kind of was doing his thing, and then I started making music probably like a year or so, 2 years later. Um, and he hit me in the DM and was like, "Yo, like I like your sound." It was actually I put out a song called "Chosen." And that was like the first song he heard by me, and he kind of hit me up. And then ever since then, yeah, we kind of just became friends. I moved in with him the very beginning of 2021, and then yeah, that was great. That the time that we lived together was great. We made music all the time. He's just a great producer. It was a really good time, nostalgic.
As far as working with him, what is it about him that you like the most?
I mean, working with Dries, like I said, it's a little bit more unique for me and Dries because we are like close and we have been working with each other for a long time. But something that I like about Dries is like we kind of think in similar structures because he looks at things in like a very like wide out, zoomed out way. He doesn't just like want to say like, okay, like this bar should do this. He kind of looks at it as like a whole, like, okay, I think the feeling of this, if we add this drum pattern, we take out the drums here and put them in here. That's what I think what my favorite thing about working with Dries is just like our creative minds, I think, are on like a similar wavelength. And I think that with that, we're able to make like better music.
Yeah, I like what y'all created together because it's gonna help both of y'all. Like when you
Yeah,
go, he's gonna come with you, and if his sound blows, it's like when Chief Keef and Young Chop did they
yep,
thing together. Yeah, I like that.
absolutely. Yep.
What's the
Producer artist combos are like a really big thing in the industry.
yeah Snoop and Dre, YG,
Hmm.
Mustard? Like it really works for people for real.
Right.
What's the studio sessions like? Anything crazy, or are you one of those people who you just wanted to be you and the engineer?
Honestly, it varies for me. A lot of my stuff I do at home because I have the resources and like if I have the time, I'm gonna just record at home. But there is times like for example, the True Motion song, that track actually I recorded that in Atlanta. There's a studio called Layer Studios that Dries is familiar with. And so we recorded the verse, my verse on that in Atlanta, and then got E's verse back like a week later. He was in Detroit at the time, so we couldn't actually link. Like it was kind of like the plan to figure some shit out. But he sent his about a week or two later, and yeah, the studio sessions for me, yeah, it's really just as long as I'm comfortable, which could be in a lot of situations. I think I can create. I have to have a sense of not privacy, but just a sense of comfort to feel like I can create the best.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I've seen different people say different things. Like Notorious B.I.G. He said he liked like the studio sessions to be damn near like a club scene where it's girls and
Yeah.
everybody and his friends and stuff. Then I seen some people say just me and the engineer.
And honestly, I can relate to both of those because when you have other people in the room that are like, like have high energy and say a hard bar, they'll hype me up for it. And I feel like that's like that can contribute a lot to the vibe of the song and just the confidence you have in the studios. If there's people in the studio around you that are like hyping you up, I feel like it could make you record better. But at the same time, it could go both ways. Sometimes maybe you don't want a lot of people's opinions and you kind of want just your opinion and then ears that you trust. That's another big thing I would say. It's just you have to have someone's ears that you can trust. They don't even have to make music. As long as you just trust their ears, I feel like you can record anywhere with that person.
I agree with that 100%. When you did the song with Babyface E and he sent his verse back, did you switch yours up?
Actually, nah, I didn't. I what I did do about that song though, I probably had that beat from Dries for like 3 weeks, like because the whole idea with like making a song with E and stuff, it all kind of just came about because me and E both work with Dries. We both work with some of the people that are in industry engineers and whatnot. So it kind of just it came about and it made sense. So I had the idea that like he was gonna be on this beat specifically before he hopped on it. So I knew I wanted to approach it like with an energy that he could like like bounce off of and reciprocate. But at the same time, I didn't want to like approach it in a way that wasn't me. I didn't want to like start rapping about like like guns or some shit that wasn't me. So when I sent my verse, I was pretty satisfied with it, and I actually got his back while I was in New York City, and I like bumped that shit the whole time.
Yeah, when I heard it, I instantly knew like this is a song that could blow up with the right push. It just got that vibe to it. It got like a party vibe. It got a fun vibe. It's a very positive song for the most part.
Definitely a party song. Definitely a song that like will turn the room up for sure. I can't wait to perform that shit.
Yeah, that's gonna be big. If a label did want to sign you, what would they have to come with? Like, what's the amount, or what would be the stipulations overall?
Yeah, well, I mean, I haven't thought about this too much as far as like, like the small intricacies of it. But I have thought about like if a label approached me and everything made sense, I would not be opposed to signing. I think that some artists have made mistakes in by not signing, and some have made mistakes by signing. So it's really just like surrounding yourself with the right people. I work with some good lawyers. I'm surrounded by some good people that I can go to with for advice. Uh, so if I had just say a number, shit, right now, honestly, if there was like something and the rules were right and everything was laid in place, I feel like I'm worth like at least like 1 to 5 million right now.
I I like the way you think because most people say just a million flat out, and a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people overvalue themselves. Like it'll be a person who is not worth that much, and
Mhm.
it'll be a person who I feel like is worth more, but they downplay themselves. So I like that because honestly, you will blow through a million quick. So
Right.
at least five would be decent. That was a good enough price. And then the more you build your catalog, the more work for you.
Right, right. It's like that's the thing with labels. It's like they sign you for a certain amount of projects and singles and stuff, and I feel like with that would where the money would recompensate for them, so
Yeah,
it'd be worth
I definitely agree with that. You had a bar in one of your songs about smoking White Owls. That's your favorite.
it. That's funny that you called that bar. That is actually like no one has ever said that to me. Uh, at the time that I made that song, I was indeed smoking White Owls. But now I don't know. Now I'm like I'm actually kind of like a hemp guy. Like I kind of like fuck with like hemp raps and shit like that. But yeah, at the time I was on the White House, the white grape, I think, is what I used to fuck with.
I back when I used to smoke White Owls, but I don't know how to roll, honestly, when I smoke. The only thing I really knew how to roll good was papers.
Yeah, see, it's the opposite for me. I'll roll a better blunt than I can like a paper joint.
Yeah. You also sing about drinking, like vodka and hypnotic. That's your choice.
So my go-to alcohol is Bacardi. I think I said yeah. I have a line in True Motion where I actually say we threw a party tipping Cabardi like CAB
Yeah,
because that's kind of like an inside joke thing for me, and I actually kind of want to like coin that as my career goes on. That's like Cabardi instead of Bacardi.
yeah.
So yeah, Cabardi is definitely my go-to alcohol. I mean, I'm a partier, so I enjoy drinking and catching a vibe and you know turning up sometimes.
So if they wanted to give you a sponsor, you wouldn't deny it.
Kidding me? If Bacardi came to a sponsor with me, I would literally be like, yo, let's make our own flavor called Cabardi. It's gonna fucking blow up. It's gonna be a TikTok sensation. Yeah,
You need to
that'd be lit.
trademark that word, man.
I know, don't I? That's what my friends been saying. Like, it's like honestly, like it's kind of like an inside joke for us. It's like Cabardi. We love that shit.
All right, so you had a song called LAX. You been to Cali before?
Yeah, I actually went to California only one time. I was in seventh grade. Went on vacation for like 4 days. It was lit. It was awesome. Loved it.
I know like the type of music you make, Cali gonna love it. They like that party scene type of music.
I want to get out to Cali bad. Like LA is definitely like my next like spot that I want to visit.
Yeah, I want to go to Cali one day too, especially where like all the YouTubers at and TikTokers and stuff
Yeah.
and networking.
Yeah, everybody is in Cali when it comes to that shit. Like there's always something going on in LA.
Yeah. You you said you need a baddie like Madison. You no stranger to like throwing names out. Like that's your thing. Cause I know like Drake do that too.
Yeah, I mean the that bar right there, like the Batty like Madison bar, was kind of came from so there was this song that was trending at the time on TikTok. I don't know what it was called. It might have just been called like Maddie or something. It was like I ain't never been with a baddie Madison, but I'm calling her Maddie,
I
something
remember
like
that.
that.
Yeah. I remember that.
And like for some reason, like my mind just like subconsciously was like I think it like thought of that song, and then I wanted to rhyme something with like baddie or something. Yeah, it just kind of makes sense. It kind of just like happened.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. I like that song. It's funny because like when I first heard you, I thought you were throwing out names of people in your personal life on some Drake type shit, and I'm like, damn, I wonder how they feel. Like, would you ever do that though? Like, would you ever like mention a girl you actually dated or hooked up with?
So I've done that, but I haven't name dropped. Like I have songs out that are like very specifically about people or like situations with people, but I haven't like specifically like name dropped. Will I do it? Fuck you. Of course I want to do it. Yeah, it's like that's something I want to do for sure. Like I'm not afraid to do that at all. I think that's fun.
Yeah, I think it's like brave too.
Yeah, I mean in a way, but like I said, it's like I'm not. That's nothing I'm afraid of to like name drop somebody.
Yeah, that's real. You had lyrics about swiping right and super like, so you know stranger than day naps.
Yeah, hey, I wouldn't say I'm a stranger. No, I wouldn't say I'm an avid user, but yeah, of course I've dabbled on Tinder, and when I moved out of state for a year, and it was like I didn't know anybody, so I had to figure out something.
Yeah, I love day naps. I ain't gonna lie. I would say as an adult, like 10% of my sexual experiences came from day naps.
Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, yeah, that's pretty you industry standard for dating apps.
Yeah. You
But I
also,
do know some people that have had like successful relationships off of dating apps, which is like I don't know. It's definitely like it's a thing, but me personally, I'm not sure.
yeah, I've never had nothing successful other than like hookups. And like most
Right.
of the time, the hookups I had wasn't planned to be hookups. It just happened.
Yeah. Type shit. Yeah. You got that. You got that natural riz. I feel you. I feel you.
you you talked about being lost inside your thoughts on a song. I can't remember the name of the song, but what does that mean? And like, how do you get out of it? Or do you ever?
I think that song. I think I forgot her name. Could be mistaken, but I do remember that line. Yeah. I think just being an artist and a young adult in this time of life right now in general just comes with a lot of like unanswered questions and not a lot of guarantees and things to feel solid about. So I think it's pretty easy for people to feel lost, especially when it comes to oh shit, god damn, I'm lost right now. But yeah, I mean, just like I think when I was talking about that in the song, it was just I was in a space of like there's so many things kind of like raveling out in my head that like all I need is an escape or like just something to ease myself off of that or relax for a second. I think that's like a really big thing to focus on when you're feeling lost like that.
Yeah, I do too. I you mentioned anxiety in one of your songs, and I got anxiety, and I overthink a lot. So I know exactly what
Mhm.
you mean.
For sure, yeah. Anxiety is definitely like pretty much like I just said, it's pretty common for people around like right now. Like almost I would say like 75% of like the youth deals with like anxiety and overthinking and stuff like that. And that's just like it's kind of a whole nother conversation, but at the end of the day, it's like music is definitely something that can help with that.
Agree. And a song, and I I didn't do my research good enough because I should have had the song names next to these lyrics. But in one of your songs, you talked about needing two girls. You in
Yeah.
you in the polygamy or like that's not your thing?
That's a funny question. Um, that also was from Forgot Her Name. Yeah, I say I can't find the one, so I guess I need two girls. Which essentially what I mean by that is like, man, the state, like kind of like we just saying, the state of like dating and relationships, like right now in society is pretty like unbalanced. And yeah, I was kind of in the bag of like thinking like, well shit, if I can't find somebody that like really fucks with me, then like fuck it. I'm gonna just go player mode. I'm gonna just go fucking Jack Harlow and just vibe out. You feel me?
Yeah, that's funny because I told my cousin I was going to interview you, and he was like, what kind of artist is he?" And he was like, "Is he like Jack Harlow or like what?" And I'm like, "Nah, he's like Kid Leroy." So it's funny that you brought Jack Harlow up. He
For
from the
sure. Yeah,
Midwest
that's a
too.
big inspiration.
Think about it. He from the Midwest too.
Yeah, yeah, he's from Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yup.
You talked about contract love. When you meant contract love, did you mean marriage? You know, contracts.
Yeah. So I didn't mean marriage, but I did mean like kind of like, for a lack of a better term, like writing yourself to somebody else that you're gonna be loyal in a sense, or just like that you have like love for it, or you're like pretty much that means like I was ready to get in a relationship with that person.
So that was about somebody.
Hell yeah, it was. That song specifically was about somebody.
Do they know?
Yes, they know. They do know. And yeah, and I'm gonna leave it at that. It was that song. Let me just, what can I say about that song? Um, every aspect about that song was very true, very raw, pause, and yeah, very, very natural, I'll say. And I'm blessed for it.
Is that the same song where you said you were under a spell?
I think so. I'd have to know what bar you're talking about, but I
You were the
think
bar where I
yes, that
put you under a spell.
yeah, no, it is. It is. It definitely is. I can't what I can't remember the bar now, but it's something about like I use the word sedative or seduct. I can't remember right this second, but yes, a lot of that song had to do with just being in the moment and under a spell.
Was was the song too much fun inspired by Young Thug? Cause I know Young Thug had an album called So Much Fun.
It wasn't. I know what you're talking about. It wasn't inspired by that, no. But yeah, that's kind of like a funny crossway. The name "Too Much Fun" essentially ties into the story of the song. It was like it's kind of like so. Let me just give you a rundown of that song. It's kind of like a situation where I don't know. You're like in a club or a bar or something like that, and it's like there's somebody that you like kind of like you fuck with them, but it's like you kind of know you probably shouldn't fuck with them or something kind of like along those lines. And it's like the night just happened and the night carried on and we had like essentially too much fun. That's kind of like the whole idea behind too much fun, but love that song.
I I know exactly what you mean, like a toxic person, but like in a good way.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Oh, I had figured it was inspired by Young Thug, but I based off the fact that in another song you said something about pushing P, and I know Thug had the song with Gunna pushing P, so I was thinking like, I wonder, is it like a correlation to being inspired by Thug or just being a fan?
Pushing positivity. That's what it is. Pushing positivity.
Absolutely, all the time, man. You ever plan on singing about something else as far as like maybe being heartbroken or just making songs outside of like fun vibes?
Um, I'm I'm open to making any song that I'm inclined to make it like creatively, you know, like if I'm in a space where like I think you know, if I'm in like a kind of like a sad or just like a more low energy space and I still want to have enough energy to create, then yeah, I'll create some sad shit, I'll create some heartbreak shit. Definitely there's been times like I definitely have songs and like stuff in the vault that's more like sad and you know, singing oriented, I guess if that makes sense, but Yeah, I'm not opposed to anything. It's all what comes to me in the time and what I feel creatively inclined to do.
Yeah, because I feel like you got the type of style and range where you can make literally any type of song. Like every song doesn't have to be the same style. It's some people who can't get out the style that they in because that's all they got to offer. I feel like you got
Right.
a very broad style. You can hit any genre.
That's love. I appreciate that. And yeah, I think that kind of just ties into what I'd spoken about previously about just being from an area where there's a lot of different culture. I think that like contributed a lot.
Yeah, I definitely can agree with that. You in a song you said you had a lucky hoodie. I got,
Yeah, yes,
I got a
sir.
lucky hoodie too. That's crazy. When you said that, I was
Don't
like,
hey, don't we all? Don't we all? See, that's why I was like, I like that bar because it's like, don't we all got something that we would say it's like our lucky thing, you know?
yeah. What made the hoodie so lucky?
Well, let's just say that every time I wore that hoodie out, um, I had a good story to tell the next morning.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, I got a lucky hoodie, and I just got it, but it's been lucky to me so far. So I can definitely agree with
Exactly. See, that all he needs to have is one lucky thing.
you. Yeah,
I feel like everybody has one.
I do too. I think everybody has something that they deem is lucky. And I'm gonna end it off with the quote that you said that came from Cole Bennett: "The progression over profession."
Yep.
I never heard that quote prior to that, but I love that quote.
Love that quote. And actually, I was just talking to somebody about that quote. Like that quote proves itself to be truer and truer. Like as I face more adversity and stuff like that, it's it's all about just making sure you do your best every day and just progression over perfection.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Man, I could literally go on and on, but I think I'm gonna save the rest of my questions for the next interview, man. But I
So
appreciate this interview so much, bro. Like I really got high hopes for you. Like when I seen you, I was like, man, this is. And the crazy thing is I hear somebody and I hear one song and I'm like, man, they got potential. Oh, another thing I wanted to say, I didn't know you had a project called Potential because I said you had potential without even knowing you had a project called Potential, and
yeah,
I couldn't
when
find. You don't have to send the
I
link.
was gonna say when you posted the combinations reaction, I was watching that just like yesterday, and I heard you say that like I didn't have any projects out, it was just all singles, which is like a common like thing to say because I only have one project out, and that project was like one of my first things I put out. I only had like three singles out, or maybe four at the time when I put the project out. So yeah, it kind of gets like shadowed by like the rest of my singles, but I got a project coming out this year as well.
Man, I can't wait to hear it, man. I heard you. I was like, man, he got potential. And then when I realized you had other singles and I heard them, I'm like, man, so because some people get lucky, and I thought like maybe True Motion would have been luck, but hearing you consistently make hits, and every song I listened to, it just got better and better. Like True Motion ain't got
That's love,
nothing
man.
on all the other songs I heard, bro. And I'm like, yeah, he definitely gonna make it for real. So
That
I
means so much to me, bro, for real. Like, especially like you being from the city and shit. Like, that's love, man. Thank you.
man, I appreciate you for this interview. When the next project dropping though, like tell the people what you got coming.
Yeah, so ton of shit coming this year. We got singles, videos, more skits. I'm actually gonna hopefully have a couple of acting roles this year, and then a project later in the year. So yeah, it's a ton of shit coming this year. 2024 is like I'm so confident in this year, and yeah, I appreciate you for having me on, man. It's like I said, like I appreciate all the love you show, all the reactions, stuff like that. It means a lot, especially being from the city and Michigan in general. We're on top right now. It's a wave for real.
I definitely agree. We're gonna have to do another interview when the next project drop, man.
Let's do it.
All right, man. I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna post this tomorrow, maybe around like 4 o'clock, and I'm gonna send you the link.
Okay, bet. I'll repost and all that shit. So,
All right, I appreciate it.
all right, man. Have a good one.
You too.